Lauren Spanog. We're here today at Gerrardstown Elementary. Join me today as we learn about some of the teachers here at the home of the Pathfinders on this edition of Be the Difference, West Virginia. We're here with Amanda Allen. She teaches computer here at Gerrardstown Elementary. Hi Amanda, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well. Tell me a little about yourself.
I am from Martinsburg, born and raised. I graduated from Martinsburg High School. I'm now currently married to my husband Josh, and we have our sweet little baby boy. I've now been teaching for 6 years in the area.
And have you always been a computer teacher?
No, I actually was at Martinsburg High School for 2 years. The first year I did computer drafting, and then the second year math. Kind of changed from year to year. And then for 4 years now I've been here at Gerrardstown.
So what made you decide to become a teacher?
Well, I swore to my parents that I would never ever be teachers because they both were. But they got the upper hand when all was said and done because turned out that I was meant for this profession. And so I don't know, it was just something I kind of fell into. I knew I didn't want to be in a mainstream classroom. I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I found that computers was where I wanted to be.
And what did they teach?
Well, they were both at the middle school, South Middle, and my mom was a math teacher and my father did tech ed.
So your classroom's a little bit out of the traditional setup. Instead of having rows of desks, you have rows of computers. Tell me a little bit about your classroom and how you get your students excited about learning technology and using it for learning purposes.
Well, I try to keep things fresh. I try to update, technology each year just because, technology updates every second. So I try to make sure that, when they come to the classroom, they're getting something new. And I want them to enjoy their experience when they come. So, different lessons that we do change throughout the year, different websites that I found over the years. And then I created something called Assembly, which is incredible. Awesome website that allows you to put all of your different links all in one spot, and it's something that they can access when they go home. So it allows them to kind of be independent and still try to go for that internet safety and using their parents, but they are able to go home and say, hey, I learned this today.
What are the benefits to having young students learn about technology and how to use it outside the classroom and for the things that they are learning at school at a very young age?
One thing I found when I came to Gerrardstown that I don't think I ever gave the kids enough credit for was they can learn, they can do it. And I think a lot of times people are leery about letting them go too far on the computer because they could get into things that they're not supposed to be in. But really, it's so easy for them to absorb what you give them that you can teach them anything at this age, and they just really grow. Starting them in kindergarten just using a mouse to making them type correctly by second grade it just tells you right there they're capable. It's just having that mindset they can do it, and so it's just catching them at a young age in order to really show that growth.
What's a project or a lesson that you've done with your students this year that's really gotten them excited about using technology or learning?
Well, this year I actually did it not too long ago. My students are so used to using Microsoft Word for typing, and I'm trying to get them out of that thought process that that's all it's used for. So in first grade, they learn how to use their shapes to draw different pictures in there based off of what we might be learning at the time. This year, I actually had some of my second graders create a grid and then fill in the grid based off of different letter number combinations that I gave them so that they could draw a picture. So just being able to take something that they thought was just very basic in kindergarten and now in second grade move it to, seeing grids with pictures, they think it's just the coolest thing ever. And, any type of project we can do that with. I've been able to do bingo cards with them in Microsoft Word. Just any little thing that, they think is very simplistic to me is incredible to them. And, just seeing them that happy and excited about something is just awesome. It's a great feeling.
How can parents, or how should parents be involved in what their students are doing outside the classroom as far as using online resources and using those resources to learn?
A couple of things. I send home information at the beginning of the year with internet safety, mainly with just the first and second graders. The kindergartners, they're still kind of too young to hopefully be doing too much outside of school on the computer without supervision. But I focus on some of the internet safety that we talk about in the classroom, and I try to make sure that gets home to parents. But also just the fact that I have that Symbaloo that has the different links. There is some internet safety on there as well, but if they encourage their child to stay on that realm or in that realm, I think it helps a lot for the kids to understand, okay, I have boundaries, and parents are upholding that at home and doing that same thing. I mean, really, the kids, they have that independence, but, just having that extra person to kind of be behind them saying, okay, where are you? What are you doing? That's the main thing. Parents just need to be involved.
What's one thing that you wish the public understood about what it means to be a teacher or the teaching profession in general?
It's hard to have so many different types of learners in a classroom, and getting to each one of those children is always going to be difficult because they are so different. So just knowing that, it's a tough job, but we're doing the best that we can, and, we're trying very hard to make sure they're excited.
We're here with Sandy Marchese. She teaches first grade here at Gerrardstown Elementary. Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Hi.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on representing our county and our state. We're all very proud of you. I am a product of Berkeley County Schools. I started at Bunker Hill, went on to Musselman High School. I graduated from Shepherd University with my bachelor's and my master's degree. Just recently I got principal certification from WVU. My husband teaches at North. He does special ed math, and all three of my children have been through Berkeley County Schools.
What made you decide to become a teacher?
Well, I get asked that a lot, and I think I respond more often that I didn't decide, that teaching kind of decided for me. I have, my family we're all teachers. My grandfather was a longtime biology teacher at Martinsburg High School. My mom taught in Frederick County and in Berkeley County through her career. And now my husband's teaching, and I've just been surrounded by teachers all my life. My grandmother taught in Frederick County, Virginia. My aunts were both teachers, so it's just been a family occupation.
Talk about your classroom. What are some of the things that you do to get your first graders excited about learning?
I think one thing that we have to do in first grade is we have to be very hands-on, and that's when they stay most engaged, is when we're hands-on. We do a lot of project-based stuff. Just recently, last week, we had a literature story about a robot, and on Friday we built robots from boxes, and they basically just started with a box, and they had to design and name and tell me what the robot did, and the project took probably a good hour and a half, and they stayed engaged that whole time, which for first graders is a pretty amazing feat. And then they shared their robots with the class, and they were just really excited about that whole project, and it connected an art project with a literature story. So they really enjoyed that hands-on.
Could you tell me about another activity that you've done this year that your students really enjoyed and got them excited about learning?
Students are really excited about reading in first grade. The kindergarten teachers introduce the fundamentals, and they're really excited about reading. I do a lot of partner reading and shared reading and writing circles and things like that. They enjoy talking to each other, collaborating with each other. We do partner writing, which is kind of a precursor to Google Docs, where they work together on projects and technology. So I basically have them working on one page, but they write a story together and edit for each other and share that story together. They enjoy that.
About technology. How do you use technology to engage your students in the classroom and also to maybe connect your students' families to what they're learning as well?
I have the standard. I have the computers in my classroom, and this year we have 4 iPads that we've incorporated into centers where I've tried to do a lot this year is model good smartphone usage with my kids. I use my smartphone all the time with them. I mean, I have it in my pocket, and last week we finished up the story James and the Giant Peach, and the kids didn't know, couldn't visualize what the Empire State Building was and what it looked like, so I just brought it up as a Google image and I showed them on my smartphone. And then that brought on a lot more questions, like how many windows do you think there are in the Empire State Building, and how many elevators and how many stairs, and we just typed those questions into Google and they came right up. And I want to give them the idea that you can use your smartphone to learn. Last spring, incorporated a Twitter account into my class where the students or the parents are part of my followers, and they I have about half my class that the parents are following me, and I like to post pictures of things that are going on through the day. That a lot of the robot projects got posted on the Twitter account. If I see them doing something, or really engaged in something, I try to snap a picture of it and put it out there. I think it makes the parents a lot more comfortable about what's going on in the classroom. It's kind of like their eye into the classroom.
What are some ways within the county that you're involved in preparing teachers for the profession and also helping teachers advance themselves within the profession as well?
Well, I always have. I've had a lot of student teachers over the last few years. In the fall, I had one just recently, and it's been really interesting watching her come back as a substitute over the last few weeks and seeing the growth in her. And it's been gratifying to see that she feels more confident and she's more experienced, and the kids respect her, and so that's been nice to see the growth in new teachers. I'm also part of a mentor group for the National Board teachers that we kind of facilitate and mentor teachers that are trying to get National Board certification. We started that group about 5 or 6 years ago, I don't remember exactly, and now we've grown to 60 teachers that are nationally board certified in the county, so that's pretty exciting.
Is there anything else that you've noticed within your time as a teacher that you wish that parents or community members understood about what goes into being a teacher and having a classroom that really prepares our students for the future?
I think, as Amanda said, I mean, it's a hard job. It's there's a lot of planning that goes on, even though we may not be in the classroom 24/7. We're always thinking about it 24/7. I mean, there are times on the weekends where the mind doesn't stop, and you have to you're planning and you're organizing and you're doing report cards, and there's it is a hard job. And we're constantly trying to think of new ways to keep students engaged and keep things fresh, as Amanda said, and make sure that everybody is interested in the learning that's going on.
That's all for this edition of Be the Difference West Virginia. Join me next time as we learn more about the teachers here in beautiful Berkeley County. Until then, I'm Erin Spinagle, reminding you to be different, but more importantly, be the difference. I'll see you soon.